property.
Your first and last name?
Antonio Diaz,
How do you spell that?
Antonio Diaz.
And your group is called?
Churches and Business Council.
And you were saying you have several different groups.
Yes, we have Cuauhtecan, which is the band of Pamake, which I'm from. We have Pachache and Panapache. We have Lakota people out here. And then we have other people that are just supporters of indigenous human rights.
So what are you all out here protesting? Tell me about that.
We're protesting that the Archdiocese of the Church here at San Antonio has found some remains of Mission San Juan, and they basically have kept secret. In early summer, they said they only had 3, but they said it to this one group that they say is the official group that they choose to communicate with. And then recently they said there were 15, and again, only to that one group. That one group supposedly got recognized with a letter from Archbishop Flores back in 1999 during a reburial of over 180 remains. So we were all, at that time we were all together and all were getting information. But after Archbishop Flores said that the church would only communicate with that one group, now we don't get any information. Those of us, I can prove lineal descendants, and I'm a lineal descendant to Mission San Juan and Mission Espada. I'm from the Diaz family. So all we want is more inclusiveness as far as information about either artifacts or remains that were found on mission grounds when they're doing these restoration projects.
It was Mission San Juan that these were, how many remains were found?
Supposedly remains of 15 children, juvenile and up to babies. I spoke to Dr. Stephen Tompkins, who is the archaeologist at UTSA, the director there. Yesterday they had a meeting with him and the parish priest of Mission San Juan, Jim Gelman, and the director of Tapitlam or AIT, which is the same group that the church chooses to only give information to. Now, I tried to attend the meeting. I was here at the Archdiocese, and I was basically just shuffled around and denied the opportunity to sit in on the meeting.
What group are they communicating with?
Tapitlam or AIT-SEM. American Indians of Texas, the Spanish colonial missions. That's the only group.
AIT? And why are they communicating just with them?
Supposedly, because I spoke to Father Garcia also, who is the parish priest at Mission Concepcion, and is also the director of Old Spanish Missions. He said that they're honoring the letter that Archbishop Flores wrote in 1999, recognizing this group as the one to deal with. And I explained that I'm a lineal descendant. There are other lineal descendants here. And to tell us that we have to be funneled into a non-profit group that we choose not to join, not that I have any animosity towards them. Some of them are friends of mine. Some of them are relatives of mine. But it's a non-profit group. It is not an Indian nation. Tapitlam is Cuauhtecan for the people, but it's a non-profit organization. It's not listed in any of the bands in the church archives that were held at the missions. You know, the bands are recorded, and the Pamake are recorded as a Cuauhtecan nation.
Okay, now their AIT, is that primarily one band?
No, they consist of different bands, and some probably non-Indian as well. But
they're not in the historical records.
As AIT, of course not. They're in as the Cuauhtecan nations or bands that they say they are. They say they're Pamake like myself, or Pacuache, the sister over here, or Ilihaya or Payaya. Then they're there.
So this is primarily against the Archdiocese. I thought in our email it also named the National Park Service as well.
Yes, well, see, the reason they're renovating the missions is because the missions have been nominated to be a World Heritage Site under UNESCO, and so these renovations are being done to beautify the missions so that they can be approved, and so that's where they went to the portal, the entrance of Mission San Juan, and dug up the remains because they want to improve that opening, that facade for the tourists. Now, I and some other people here were members of the working committee on that project for the missions to be World Heritage. we were insisting that the word indigenous be included within the title because they were going to be called San Francisco missions. And we opposed that because they said a part of the title was that they were the jewel of Spanish colonization of our area. They don't know what they're saying. It's an offense to tell us we're a colonized people. Colonization was a Holocaust for our people. Many of us died and were enslaved, and we lost or stripped of our indigenous identity. And then to tell us they're going to exalt that, they're going to present this on a global scale, and we're supposed to be happy about it. I know it's going to bring in tourism, but who's going to benefit from it? Not the local people that live around the missions. National Park Service is, and the Archdiocese is, but not us. So we're being further pushed away further from any involvement in the missions. When they want us is to put on feathers and go put a performance on that they're going to benefit from. But that's about it. They don't want us to actually give direction in which way they're taking the missions. And also direct what they're doing and how they're developing the missions.
Where are these remains right now?
They're still in the, supposedly at Mission San Juan, they're still in the possession of the Archdiocese, which is why we're here.
And so basically, what do you want the Archdiocese to do?
Well, at this point, we want to meet with Archbishop Sierra, the new Archbishop, and ask him to revisit that letter from Archbishop Flores and to be more inclusive, to expand the list that they have as people to contact, indigenous people to contact or give information to, because it's too narrow. And again, nothing against that one group. We used to be all one group at one point, but now it's a very small group that only have this information. And so we want Archbishop Sierra to revisit that letter of Archbishop Flores and expand it and be more inclusive.
Now, what's the name of your, how do I recognize y'all? What band? What
I am Pamake. We start from the Nueces River.
You're going to go to the Archbishop and say, can you recognize what group?
I want to say they have archives of, I think there were at least 20 bands that were interred at the missions, at all 5 missions, by their own records, their archives. I want them to recognize members of those 20 bands. If any member that can prove that they're a member of one of the bands that is archived, recorded as having been at the missions, they should have the right to have information on their ancestors.
And what's the other band that they are recognizing called?
Like I said, they're Coahuiltecan, but it's
How do you spell that?
Coahuiltica.
How do you say it again?
Coahuiltecan. This used to be Coahuila. So it's Coahuila. Yeah.
And how would I explain?
See, I belong to the Coahuiltecan Nation, but my band is Pamaka of the Coahuiltecan Nation. See, there's different bands within the nation. I don't have any problem with Coahuiltecan people. I am Coahuiltecan. It is that they're only recognizing the non-profit Tapitlam. That is not archived as one of the bands. That is a non-profit. It's like me coming and saying, I am Texas Indigenous Council. I want you to recognize Texas Indigenous Council and give me information. I want for the Archdiocese to look at their recorded archives of all the 20 bands, and if any members of those bands request information on their ancestors, it should be given to them, not for them to be funneled into a nonprofit, or unless they're recruiting for the nonprofit, I don't know.
And there's a whole bunch of different bands.
Yes.
Within that, but they're only recognizing the nonprofit of that.
Yes.
Okay, this is totally different than what we thought it was going to be. Now I got to, because I had talked to the Park Services, but now I got to talk to the Archdiocese.
Well, they're tied together. They're working together on these projects, and so that's what the remains would not have been excavated if not for the beautification.
When were these remains excavated?
I believe in May.
Last May?
Yeah, and like I said, it was kept very secret. Even AIT was not told. They were told that they only had 3, but we knew that they had more because we have people that are parishioners that still go and were there at late hours seeing that they were doing this excavation, saying, "Hey, do you guys know that this is going on?" And so I asked, and I wasn't told the truth.
And now you want to be included.
Yes, sir.
I'm having a hard time trying to describe your organization. What do I use?
We're a pan-Indian organization because we have membership of different tribes and also non-Indians. We are a non-profit as far as we are recorded we have incorporated to the state of Texas, but we don't have a 501c3.
Alright, I'm gonna have to go see if I can get a response from the Archdiocese.
I don't know if I have any cards left.
That'd be great if you have a card.
The four directions.
Taught him everything he knows.
Yeah.
Calling you guys chaotic and saying that.
Because we attended the meetings and some of us were objecting to the ceremony that they wanted to do. We were objecting to the way they were burying them. We were objecting to many things.